David Bataller now joins us from PGA Catalunya out there in Spain. David, good to see you. It's looking lovely out there.
Yeah, it's looking lovely. Finally, the spring has arrived.
Well, that's one hell of a view.
Yeah, the winter is never too strong here. You can always play in t-shirts in the middle of the day in the winter, but it's looking very nice. Looking at the...
It's a very prestigious golf resort that you're in charge of there in terms of the course and the agronomy. How did you get to that position? What's your career path, David?
Well, I started more than 30 years ago in 1990. And I was coming from US to study high school. And as a summer job, I found a job that required a translation from Martin Hotry, famous designer, building a golf course in my town in Girona. And after 3 months, the owner of the golf course said, "Hey, David, would you like to get involved in that profession? Instead of translating, you should be in charge of the construction."
Wow.
And I really love that. So I became the agronomist there and the head greenkeeper. And ever since then, since 1990, I've been making myself on my own, traveling ever since then to America every year to the golf industry show, to Bigga and all over the world, trying to see what's the best in terms of top conditions.
So your only job in golf has been there, yeah?
No. That was in 1990 in Girona Golf Club. Ever since then, I've been growing up. I've never been fired on any golf course. So I was always hired to more and more responsibility, which I'm proud of. And one of the reasons why it's that I've always been in my philosophy, knowing that service is the most important thing on a golf course. And we know that we're not preparing a garden. A golf course is not a garden, it's a sport fields. And for us, the setup and the presentation on a daily basis is the most important thing. So I've always been doing our best with our team, trying to be a leader with them and to be proud of what we produce and make everything and every day important for the customer. So I was lucky enough to get hired to different golf courses and growing up until they found me PGA and I was lucky.
So what's the setup there? How many courses and what kind of staffing have you got?
Yeah, right now we have 2 golf courses. We're looking in the near future to have a 3rd and a 4th maybe. But right now we have 2 golf courses. We have 35 staff. The whole team is important to do a daily presentation. As I said before, we are a resort and every single day is important. We may have a very important visitor in January, and maybe it will be the first time, maybe hopefully not the last one, to come and play golf. So for us, it's important to have everything in perfect conditions. And for example, the speed of the green, we try to get no less than 10 feet year round. When I say year round, it's no matter if we pencil time the greens, if we vertical the greens, any day of the year, you will come to PGA Catalunya and find at least 10 feet.
Wow, okay. So you're working hard on that green speed. What are the other particular challenges that the environment gives you there in terms of preparing the course?
Well, as you know, Girona is in the transition zone. That means that you can grow any kind of grass, but all kind of grasses are suffering in a certain time of the year. If you grow, for example, warm season grasses in the winter time, they will suffer because there's no growth at all. They turn brown, so you need to overseed. If you go to cool season grasses, then you will suffer in the summertime when the Mother Nature wants to kill the turf grass with a lot of heat. Sometimes we reach 40 degrees. In August or July, you need to put every day between 4 and 5 mil of water. And if you miss it, turf dies, especially if it's a cool season grass. So it's not an easy place to grow grass. It's nice because even in the winter, we have nice temperatures, but we get some little frost at night. So it's not that easy. Maybe if you go south down to Spain, it's easier because then you go straight to warm season grass. Some golf courses are not even overseeding right now, especially in these COVID times. They are just painting. So that means less growth in the winter. But if you go northern Girona, which would be France, then they don't have warm season grass and they have cool season grasses, but they can let it brown in the summer. And I would say turf grass is not gonna die as bad as here. So this special 40-degree latitude is quite difficult to maintain turf grass.
So what do you do about that then, in precisely?
Well, we have big projects in mind in order to change to warm season grass at the full of the surface, not the greens, because greens we understand is the most important part, and we all know that golf professionals love bent grass, which is the best ball roll you can get on a turf grass. So, but the rest of the golf course, we feel that the future is warm season grass, and there's many ways you can get and deliver warm season grass, and depending if you want to overseed in the winter or not, you can choose one way or another. Our way is 365 days a year green. That means that you have to overseed strongly, and you need a warm season grass that really goes through that cool season grass. So after many trials, we tried every single grass available in the world. For us, the best thing is Paspalum turf grass in the summertime, and then a strong overseeding of ryegrass and Kentucky bluegrass, which is Proapertensis. And with these two systems, you can get perfect grass through the year with very tolerant to high traffic. So you can drive buggies on top of it and you'll have the recovery. And very few inputs on chemicals, which in today's world, as you know, in the UK and Europe, this is becoming quite a tough thing. And I see the future with very few chemicals, if we have any. So we need turf grasses that drive without it. That will be the key point.
I know you personally, your philosophy is quite an eco-friendly and a green and sustainable one. How does that translate into how you're looking after, your surfaces there, your course?
Yeah, we're trying always to do a lot of research, find different ways of solving the problems, and if we can skip using chemicals, we do it. So imagine if you have a dollar spot, for example, which is a famous common disease. If we can get rid of it just like rolling or taking the dew out certain times during the night with a syringe at night or soon in the morning, we will do it and use the chemical as the minimum as possible. At one point also, if you have a little bit of disease, then that disease will be, the turf grass will be competing against it. So if you feel sick yourself and you all the time keep medicine, you'll never get stronger. You need to let the body fight against it. Just like the vaccine. The vaccine is not, is fighting the coronavirus against its own virus, so it prepares the body. So I'm on that philosophy a little bit. We're doing a lot of research. Right now we're doing research with ozone. Right now, ozone, as you know, it's oxygen at 0.3, and that sterilizes. So we're doing trials with ozone in order to kill all the fungi and all the problems that we have in turf grasses, and we will see during this season how much are we solving out of it.
What do you like in terms of water usage and sustainable use of water? Have you got your own supplies?
Yeah, we're using recycled water. When the golf course was built 20 years ago, it was a mandatory thing to use recycled water from the town hall. And right now, the resort has got already 300 villas. So those villas are producing wastewater again, which we have our own recycled water plant. And then that water is also going into the ponds and we're reusing that water. So we're kind of sustainable in that way because the water is being used twice.
With your equipment, are you looking at the power that you're using in terms of being more environmentally friendly and sustainable there? Is it something you've done already?
Well, we see the future in robots, in the electric side, of course. But right now, we are aware some people in the industry is working very hard on that. But we still using conventional mowers. Some of them, yeah, are electric on the reels, but at the end is using fuel. And yeah, we're looking into this near future coming with robots and electrics. Yeah, why not?
Okay. You got quite a big staff there. We've obviously had a very trying year for everybody over the last 12 months. I know your resort is built on tourism and people coming in to play golf. I think you told me earlier you've had to switch to being more serving the local customer, the local community. Has your team remained intact? Are you surviving okay through the troubles?
Yeah, the company values that the golf course is the most important asset in the resort. We sadly closed the hotel because there was no customers. We didn't have any visitor. So we had to close the hotel. But the golf course we have maintained, and actually we have invested close to €1 million in improving the stadium course. New car path has been renovated, and we're introducing a lot of landscaping to really give this manicure look that we want for the stadium course. And also we have introduced mulch in order to edge the manicure turf grass to the woods. That suddenly is giving you a frame on each hole that you can see exactly where is the landing area of the fairway, where is the rough, and then where the rough ends. When I say rough, means turf grass that it's mown and it's really penalty. And then the area that starts with the mulch getting into the woods. As you know, our golf course is a tree line golf course, and that mulch is giving a very nice red color. We're using local pine bark, which is very fine, and it gives you a red color that everybody says it reminds to Augusta National. Anybody coming to PGA Catalunya in this last year, we've done all those changes, are telling us, which is reminding a little bit to Augusta National. And actually, this is what we're looking for, get to another level.
That's certainly a hell of a comparison to have. And I know, the aesthetic look and how pretty the place is absolutely stunning. But your focus also has to be on maintaining the quality surface. Does that ever get in the way, looking pretty compared to delivering the right playable surface?
Well, right now we just got into a world that the attention to detail outside the golf course sometimes is even more important than the basics. Basics are greens, tees, fairways, bunkers. We are okay in this area. Of course, perfection does not exist in our work, but we're delivering from spring to autumn very, very good surfaces. So that's why our attention is right now on the landscape and all those wood areas that takes you the golf course to another level.
Well, I can't wait to see it again, that's for sure, because it was stunning enough last time I looked at it. So next time I'm sure it'll be even more impressive for us to have a look at. As a career in Spain, how is greenkeeping and turf care in general viewed?
Well, in Spain, as you know, there's less than 400 golf courses. And we are half of the people that is in the UK. So for you to have an idea, in the UK, I'm aware there is between 3,000 and 4,000 golf courses. So very few golf courses in Spain. So at the end, there's no industry to produce new head greenkeepers or superintendents or directors of agronomy because there's no need. And it's a shame because you could produce new greenkeepers in a factory, let's say a factory, But people in Spain are not used to travel for a work, for a job. You know, you can produce, let's say in Girona, we produce a very good greenkeeper or a good assistant. They will never go to Andalusia to work. Very few people would move that way. So it's a small industry, and many times it happens like it happened to me, as I explained. It's a casualty. Yes, some people, they are in golf players, and one day maybe they decide to get in the business and they go to America. Golf Federation in Spain, the green section is sponsoring some of those guys. They are sending them to Michigan University to do a 2-year turfgrass program with a lot of success. Some of those guys are in very good golf courses right now. But I don't see any factory producing new greenkeepers.
Is there an education system that they go through at all, or is it literally at the course you get that?
We have a Spanish Greenkeeper Association, which is doing a very good job. But as far as I know, there's no other teaching program that can produce superintendents.
So as far as attracting people into the industry or to a role at PGA Catalunya, are you really just looking for people that are local and then you have to work with them to get them to a level that you need them? Or can you do you look abroad? Where do you go if you need an assistant, for instance?
Right now, my philosophy is we are a service to the golf course, and I look at it as a hotel. We have the hotel here, so I learn a lot of things. So some seasons we are fully booked. People start playing golf 7:30 until 5 p.m. So there's no gaps to work. So our philosophy is to work soon in the morning with the entire team and try to do as many things as possible ahead of play. The old philosophy of having few guys and mowers, do greens first, and then when the greens are done, go back to the maintenance, pick the tees mower and do the tees. This is not possible in our business model. And I see this in all the clubs where you want to improve the service. And the idea is to do what I call ghost maintenance. You need to do all the maintenance like in a hotel. You go to a room in the hotel and everything is fixed. You never find somebody cleaning when you get into the room. And I think the golf should be the same thing. Go and play and you shouldn't see anybody, at least in the dangerous area that a ball can land. So I think the future would be part-time job for most of the staff, or more robots.
Okay.
And if you have a family and you live on your own, I see that a part-time job is not enough. So I think, and as we are implementing at PGA, a lot of youngsters coming to do our greenkeeping job. They come 6 in the morning, and after 4 hours, they've done the setup of the golf course, mowing fly mowing bunkers, doing fairways, doing greens, all the typical setup, and then go home. And then, since we are hosting the last visitors at around 5 p.m., because in the summer it gets dark at 9, by 9 o'clock they should be on 18th, we are doing some of the work late at night. So it's a big gap between morning and afternoon. So usually the guys that we have in the morning will never come in the afternoon. So we have 2 separate teams. One team is in the morning, the most important team, and then some other guys are coming in the afternoon for 4 hours also, a part-time job. So I see the future more into adapting into this non-family people work.
So that's going to be difficult to attract skilled labour then, with people that need to earn decent money, shall we call it, yeah?
Yeah, one thing is the basic staff, and then managers. As you know, a structure in a golf course, you need managers, you need assistants, you need responsibles on irrigation. Those managers, yes, they will be working 8 hours. They need to be recognized with a good salary, and then they have the chance to grow up in the team.
Okay.
But then I see the biggest amount of staff. I see more the part-time job, because the more we do it, the happier we are in terms of the small hands in the morning to do everything fast. We supervise under the big team, and it's like a tournament. We had so many tournaments here. We hosted 3 Spanish Opens. We had 9 years of qualifying school, final stage, which is 2 golf courses every day, 40 times. And at the end, what we're doing on daily basis is what we're doing for a tournament week. It's like a tournament was never ending. And sometimes what we see when we see those top golf courses like TPC Sawgrass with 175 guys in the morning, they do everything. Of course, we cannot do that with 170 guys. But with the small teams that we have, I think we need to grow more the teams, less hours, and do everything ahead of play. That's the secret.
Okay.
I go around and play a lot of golf courses, and I see a lot of waste hours, a lot of machines under the trees waiting for the players to play. The players, they hear the noise. If you stop the machine, then the machine doesn't start again because it's a non-stop on and off and off. Waste of time. We are in the 21st century. We need to be more professionals. And yes, it's a shame because the staff is crying to us saying, when are we going to be able to work 8 hours? It's a shame for them, but in reality, we are professionals and we know the job has to be done ahead. Being 8 hours around and wasting time is not the best.
So it sounds like it's going to be more people, fewer hours per person, and probably you'll need more equipment than you would do working the traditional way?
Depending on your type of golf course. If you have 40 times, like we have sometimes, which people start on the 1st and 10th, then you need to do it with more machinery and more hands. If you have 1 tee time, then 1 team can go ahead of the play if there's enough time in between the tee time and the time you start. If you it's not always starting very soon, because if you start very soon, it may be dark and maybe you can have a second view, and that's not good. So every case is different.
When are things opening up again? I think you're playing golf, but the hotel's still shut, is it?
Yeah, the hotel is opening back April the 9th.
Fingers crossed, not too long after that, we'll be allowed to travel out of the UK and come and visit you, David, and see that result and start planning to bring that summit to you that we were supposed to bring last year, which was a big disappointment for all of us.
Yeah, it'll come sooner or later, I'm sure.
We hope so. David, it's been a real pleasure and fascinating to talk to you. You speak very well and passionately about your subject, and can't wait to catch up with you again.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you and knowing that there's a lot of colleagues in the industry that will hear that, and good friends around. And it's an awesome industry. I really love it, and everybody is welcome to come and visit PGA Catalunya, and we're always happy to show the guys around. And because one thing that I didn't mention is that my biggest knowledge in the industry, it's been from sharing knowledge from other guys. And I think this is the most important thing. And also the teachers I met in all those webinars and all those seminars I took all over the world, they're always happy to share an email or cell phone. And it's a very nice industry. You don't find this in other business.
You certainly don't. There's although many of you are competing with one another for green fees and for customers, there is a real sense that all of the guys in turf care want to share, and it's one kind of industry that wants to pull together and help one another. And that's one of the things I love, and obviously it's benefited you down the years.
Yes, of course. When I started, I remember one of my mentors, my first mentors, he told me, I'm explaining this secret to you, but don't tell anybody. And yeah. But after a few years, I learned that this is not the way. The way to grow is to share knowledge and keep going up. And you don't have to be afraid that somebody knows whatever you're talking, because if you don't stop learning, we will grow all together. And we are not competing. We want this game of golf to grow and people to be happy coming to our golf courses. So it was the wrong way. So I'm happy that I didn't follow him.
Well, now more so than ever, I think, with the year we've all had. David, thanks again for your time. Absolute joy speaking to you. Catch you soon, I hope.
Thank you very much for hosting me.